Welcome to this pre-training that is going to be all about setting the intention and the foundation for the upcoming workshop you have registered for. So you get the best transformation throughout the days that we have together. But before that, my name is Angela. I'm a virtual event sales expert. So what I do is that I help our clients sell their offers in the capacity one-to-many, but also build their audience, grow their list, and at the same time take back time so they can spend that time on what they actually love to do, their family, traveling, whatever it is that they want to do. Okay. And I also want you to download the workbook, and you have the link below this video as well if you haven't downloaded it already. And today we're going to go through the first step that is called the foundation. That is going to help you get the most out of the 3 days that we have together, because in those 3 days, we're going to talk about how to fill the event with the right people, how to create the content that drives the conversions, but also how to sell inside of virtual events without feeling slimy, sleazy, pushy, or whatever that you might feel when it comes to sales. And then there is a page for you to implement everything that you have learned and take with you from the workshop to set up your own virtual events, okay? But before we kind of dive into that, we are going to see what you need to grow and scale in 2025, because the market have shifted. We all feel it, right? It doesn't look the same as it did like when I started out. I started out in 2016. I'm going to quickly share my story in a moment. And we were in a kind of more relationship-driven market back then. And then we went into a more marketing-driven market where people kind of threw money into ads, and it just got more people converted, right? And now, if we look at how it looks today, we are moving back into a relationship driven market, and that comes from a lot of things, and we're going to talk about those. So when I started out, I didn't start out doing what I do today, because I started out in the health and wellness. I was a truck driver for 15 years. I was living in the truck from Sunday to Friday, but I was dreaming about another lifestyle. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to lay on the beach. I wanted to make money, right? And I was a personal trainer in a local gym in the weekends. So I launched a fitness business online. The problem was I didn't know anything about the online space. So I was sold a dream, a wish of these evergreen sales by people that didn't do evergreen sales to close those sales. I'm going to be honest with that. So I built a fitness app. And the way I drew traffic to that app was through ads. So I drew traffic from ads into quizzes. So I had maybe 3-4 quizzes. Depending on the answer in those quizzes, they get gone to different kind of sales pages that was inside different kind of offers in my app. It was so complex, okay? And I had like 25 different kind of programs in the app. It was a mess. And that way of running a business almost costed me more money than I was making, because it was not only complex, it was very expensive. 2017, I came across a 5-day challenge, and I thought, wow, can it really be this simple? Can I just show up, speaking, people will buy? I launched a 5-day challenge and I failed. Because what I didn't understand is that there is an entire strategy behind running a 5-day challenge. It's not information thrown together, even if it might look like that. So I hired a coach that was an expert in building webinars and challenges workshops. I relaunched my 5-day challenge and also a webinar. And those two things alone took my fitness business to 6 figures in sales within 4 months, while I was still working as a truck driver. That means I did my events from the truck cabin. So I didn't sometimes have a shower, so I looked like crap. I didn't have my laptop, so I used a tripod and my phone. And I'm going to share with you that my interior of that truck cabin was turquoise with pinup girls. I didn't choose it. It was built that way. Okay? People still bought, because all the tech that I had created worked as a wall between me and my audience. And I said to you that we were in a relationship-driven market. And I kind of looked away from that because I didn't know better. Okay? 2019, I started to help others do virtual events. 2020, closed my fitness business completely. I stopped working as a truck driver. And from then, I have only helped people drive sales using virtual events. I have done it all. I've seen it all. I've tried it all. Okay. I started out up until today, I've done over 380 virtual events. Okay. And I wanted to quickly share that because I want you to know who you're kind of listening to when it comes to this workshop, but also this training. And if we then look into how it actually looks today, the trust gap on the market, bigger than ever. Okay. Consumers or customers are more skeptical. They are more overwhelmed because the accessibility of information, huge, right? They are more cautious about what they actually invest in. And AI has saturated the market with a lot of content that sounds good, okay? But it lacks this kind of personal touch, this depth, this connection. And people are craving something that is actually real. Buyers today are also way more educated, way smarter, because they have bought programs that didn't deliver on the promise. They had followed advice that didn't move the needle. They have kind of seen behind the curtains. And now they don't just buy the result anymore. They buy into your personal brand, you, because they trust you to guide them. Okay? And even if I believe that AI is an amazing tool, we use it, it's amazing, right? It's very important to understand how AI have shifted the market. Because first of all, there is no entry level to go online, put up a bio, claim to be an expert and sell and do exactly what you do. Zero entry level. Thanks to AI, these people can also sound like experts, right? This explains also the skepticism. Studies also show that almost 45% of customers distrust AI-driven marketing. 70% are not sure if they can trust what they see. Is this real or is it AI? Over 80% believe that all this content that is created with AI should be labeled as AI created content. Okay? And this has created what we talk about, the entire thing, the saturation, the distrust in the market because you buy a lot of things that didn't work and buyers are way more smarter and AI into a trust recession. It has stretched out the buying cycle. It has increased skepticism. And it has actually raised the bar for what actually converts. So the ones that is going to win are the ones that listen, understand, and operate in their dream client's reality. Because that is where trust is built. That is where conversations happen. So you need a way today to build trust quickly, right? That means you no longer win by just being a great service provider doing marketing. Okay, you also need to become a very good business person. And if you're not kind of consistently bringing in new clients, because I believe that you all give your clients amazing result, okay? But if you're not consistently bringing in new clients, there is no one to create those amazing results for, right? So the first thing that you need are, of course, a way to consistently attract new people into your world, some way, right? Marketing. So we are out there getting new people in, so new people come into your world, and we call it marketing, and we call it lead generation, right? Then the second thing that you need is to build trust very quickly. Very quickly. You have a short time to build that trust, right? Because the buying cycle is so long, so you need a way to shorten it. And we call that lead nurturing. So you nurture those people to build the trust as quickly as you possibly can, because people buy from people they trust. And the third thing that you need is a very simple rinse and repeat method to turn that trust into paying clients. And we kind of easily call that lead conversion, okay? That is your baseline of your business, right? Without a kind of smooth, scalable flow in these three things, growth become patchy at best, right? Impossible at worst, okay? And this is where your virtual events is going to come in, okay? Because if you look at the virtual events, there is no complicated funnels. We have been there, done that, right? There is no shiny hacks or whatever, trends or whatever it's about. You don't need a dozen kind of new platforms every month. You just need one powerful strategy that do all these three things at once. Invite people to come, build trust very quickly, and convert that trust into paying clients, right? And the virtual events do all these three things at once. We also talked about the trust recession and how important that trust building actually is compared to what it was before, okay? And a well-crafted virtual event gives you your time back as well. It positions you as the authority. I usually say it claims the category of one. You're going to own that space in the market. It's yours. Whatever topic you run your event around, it's yours. Okay? It's also going to help you scale with simplicity because there is no such thing that is so simple as speak and sell in the capacity one to many. And there is no roof of how many people you can have in front of you, building real connection with those people, real trust with those people, because those people are sitting there just waiting for that, right? You don't need a huge team. You don't need a huge budget, no huge audience. You, a signature event, and a system that you master. And another thing that people sometimes overlook, that they don't kind of understand, that a virtual event is going to help you with, is that they dig into the psychological part of buying decisions. We call them buying triggers, okay? There are 5 of those buying triggers that makes people buy. Social proof, because you're going to show real examples that your method works, okay? The second thing is scarcity, because you're going to let them understand that it's now, not later, kind of. It's a kind of a presentation with a deadline, right? Reciprocity, because you're going to create a sense of give and take by offering upfront amazing value that builds this kind of goodwill and makes your audience come back and they are more kind of inclined to take action. Authority, number 4, establish yourself as the expert in the room. And everyone knows that as soon as someone stands up and speaks, you immediately see them as the expert. That is why people want to speak on TEDx stages, right? Because people that stands up and speak in front of an audience, the audience immediately see them as the expert. So you build authority by speaking directly to your dream client in a room. And the 5th thing is the emotional connection. Speak directly to your people's desires, your people's dreams, their fears, their problems, their struggles, right? Is that emotional connection is very important when it comes to building trust. And when you show up live and lead people from that space, you don't just throw information we already have. You move people, okay? You create connection. You build trust very, very quickly. And you close clients. That is why running virtual events will become your best valuable asset in 2025. So that is the first thing that I wanted to cover, a little bit about what you actually need in order to be able to grow and scale quickly in 2025, okay? If we then look into the virtual event in itself, is the second part inside of the workbook on the first page, foundation. It's going to be your growth rocket, okay? And I'm going to go through those things. I want to just you to write them down, and because what they make possible in just one go is amazing, okay? We talked about the first one, build trust fast. Nothing builds the like, know, and trust factor like showing up live, delivering value, listening, building connection, talking, have this two-way communication in real time. And people buy from people they trust. End. Okay? They don't just buy the result anymore. And you need to understand that you need to lay the foundation of being of service to your people, because you are asking them to take out their cash, their hardworking cash, and hand it over to you, right? And they're going to hand it over to you. Why? Because they trust you. They invest in themselves, but they let you lead them because they trust you. So trust is going to be your biggest currency. And it takes a long time to build trust. And a virtual event is going to compress that time into days. Okay, number one. Number two, shorten the buying cycle. We have about, I think they say around 9 months cold to sold. And that time you're going to compress into days. So it's going to save you a massive amount of time and you're going to close clients more quickly. Number three, you're going to be able to scale without complexity. Right? This is about running one event that works. We're not going to create 10 different events. We're going to master, we're going to run the reps, okay? You're not reinventing the wheel, so we're going to save massive amount of time. You're just going to refine it, run the reps, and watch the result grow, okay? Number four, it's going to replace like 80% of what you're doing today, okay? I can't believe we have entrepreneurs that spends 30 hours per week on tactics that moves them away from speaking to people. At the same time, you have an entire audience over here just sitting and waiting for someone to actually speak to them, a real human being, right? That have created a huge gap. What happens when there is a gap in the market and you can close it? We make money, okay? So it's going to replace like 80% of what you're doing today, spinning around doing whatever, I don't know, okay? Number five, it's going to create what we call a category of one brand, okay? You're going to go from being 1 in a million to the category of one, because you are going to show up consistently with a clear message, and people are going to see you as the go-to person because you're going to own that. It's yours. Right? We are not shifting from 15 things. We are doing one thing. It's going to be yours. And when you can go from being 1 in a million to the category of one over here, the game change. Okay, game is going to change. Number six, they are amazing to run evergreen. Okay, virtual events that converts very high can absolutely be put up as evergreen. And evergreen is a recording, like a recorded webinar, and you can have it as a freebie. People opt in, they watch, they buy. Okay, so it's an amazing tool to build something evergreen that give you clients while you are sleeping. The last thing is that you can take your presentation into a live stage. We have one client, Christine, that took her webinar to a live stage. Same webinar, same content. She didn't need to build a new presentation. And she could stand there speaking in front of a real audience, sharing her expertise around her topic. And as soon as she stands up and speak, they see her as the expert, right? We have Josephine, who took her presentation into a live stages, but she has also had the same presentation in other people's masterminds. Just think about what that alone could do for your business. Okay? So if we look at when we talk about this, a lot of things come up. That is why I wanted to kind of look into your goals and the intentions of those goals, because it's very important to understand that anyone can set a goal. And I believe everyone should have a goal, but your intentions to reach that goal usually is where it needs a little bit of a shift. One thing that comes up when I talk about this is, yeah, but I'm brand new. I haven't done this before. I'm not sure. Do people see me as really as the expert, etc.? When it comes to being the category of one, it's not about how you see yourself compared to other experts. Because if that was the case, only one could be the expert in funnel building. Only one could be the expert in sales mindset. And we know that is not the truth, right? There is a lot of sales mindset experts out there. Okay? It's important to understand that the category of one brand is in the eyes of the person that looks into your brand. It's in the eye of the beholder, right? So you can easily build a category of one brand with a very, very small following. It has nothing to do that you need a huge audience. Nothing. You don't need 15 programs. You don't need doing all the things that these big brands do, right? It's in the eye of the people that look into your brand, into you. That is number one. The second thing when it comes to, I have not done this before. I hadn't done it, and I did it looking like shit. Just gonna be honest. I wish I had pictures from back then. I don't, but I looked like shit, okay? And we have one client, for an example, Claire. She had never, ever done any type of virtual events. I helped her build together a 3-day workshop, okay? And she generated over 500 organic leads. It was amazing. She did have a following online, but she generated over 500 leads into that 3-day workshop, and she closed 15 clients. She changed the life of 15 people, okay? And if you look at that, there are people out there sitting and waiting for you to come and change their life, okay? And by you not doing anything means that you're kind of robbing them from that opportunity. Because being a great service provider is to go out and change people's lives. That is what we do. Right? So you don't need to feel like anything, I haven't done this before. What we're going to cover inside of the workshop is for everyone. From people that have not done this before, from people that wants to scale their events, from people that have done events and failed, okay? It's for everyone that wants to do an event. And you can do it. You are ready. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. The longer you wait, the less people you are going to help. They need you now. Not 9 months from now. They need you now, okay? So when we then look into the kind of goals and intention, I want you to kind of be prepared here, because the transformation, the workshop in itself, has the potential to be the turning point for your business in 2025, okay? And I don't want you to go out after that workshop and go back to do the things that you did before that didn't work. Okay, you're here for a reason. You want to close more clients in a more simple way. You want to grow the right audience. You want to grow your email list. You want to build momentum. You want to go out and create impact, change the world. At the same time, you want to save time, because you want to spend more time on what actually matters for you. Being with your family, travel, right? Do whatever it is that you want to do. So this is what I want you to do right now. You're going to write in the workbook. This is the third part. What is the goal that you have for the rest of the year? Okay, what is that goal? And what are you aiming for? Clients, revenue, or both? It doesn't matter. Here is the thing when it comes to money. I know that a lot of people feel like, yeah, but it's not about money. Understand this, okay? The more people's lives you change, the more clients you get, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more people's lives you change. And in the domino effect of that, you change the world. So you can either put a money goal, a client goal, or both. It does not matter. Okay? I would really want you to understand that, because that is usually a very block when it comes to claiming your goals, okay? Understand that the more money you make, the more the more people's lives you change, okay? And then when you have written that down, whatever that might look like for you, and we're going to use that number inside of the workshop that we are going to do, Okay, we're going to look into how you can reach that goal, of course, because that is my goal, that you reach your goal, okay? But in order to do that, you need to commit to that goal. And I want to make this really clear, and I want you to write this down. Being willing to commit means doing the things you said that you were going to do long after the energy and the excitement you felt when you said it is all gone. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Being willing means to do the things you said that you were going to do long after the excitement and the energy you felt when you said it is all gone. And that is usually the hard part, right? So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and I want you to write down the answer on those questions. Either it's yes or it's no. Okay? Number 1, are you willing to commit to learn a skill and build mastery to reach that goal? Yes or no? Easy question, right? Yes or no? Second, are you willing to commit to being consistent and showing up to hit that goal? Yes or no? Are you willing, the third question, are you willing to commit to invest time and finances to hit that goal? Fourth question, are you willing to commit to trust the process and running the reps to hit that goal? And the last question is, are you willing to commit to actually change to hit that goal? And why am I asking you to commit to answer these questions? Because this is what makes us great business people. It's when we understand that if nothing changes, nothing changes. And in that list, there should be no no's. If you want to commit to that goal that you actually wrote down, there should be no no's. There should be a list of yeses. Okay? And that is what makes you a great business person. Okay? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you commit to this, yes, 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 then I know that you are not going to go out after the workshop, transform whatever it is that we are doing inside, being all fired up, and then you go back after the workshop and doing the same shit that didn't work. Okay? And I don't want that for you, because I want you to go out and succeed. That is why I'm asking you to commit. Okay? Because if not, I can say this again, write this down. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Okay? It's very, very important. And I hope we can agree on that. I hope we can agree on that. And then I want you to show up live, of course, so you can experience the transformation. I will how can I say it? I will reward people that show up live because that shows commitment. That shows true commitment. I also want you to know that I do not allow any type of note takers or AI inside of the Zoom room. The Zoom room is for real people. So I won't let any type of note takers in. If you can't join live, make sure that you watch the recording, but you want to be in the room because that is where the true transformation is going to happen. That is where I will reward you. That is where you can ask any type of questions because it's live. And we are going to build momentum, and we are going to build relationships, and we're going to make sure that you can create a virtual event that actually close clients. Okay? So thank you so much. Make sure download the workbook if you haven't. I'm also going to share below this video the calendar link, add event link, so you can add it to your calendar so you don't miss any of the sessions. Okay, so make sure you click on the link, add it to your calendar, show up live. Okay, show up live. So, and then in the workshop, of course, we're going to work towards that goal, whatever it is that you have set up for you. We can even talk about the numbers, what it actually requires to hit that goal when it comes to the strategic part of that. So that was it. So thank you so much. And I'm so excited to see you inside of the training, inside of the workshop. So thank you, everyone, and take care.